Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another unboxing, but this time instead of a Swiss luxury watch, I decided to, change things up a little bit and instead go with a well-known fashion brand and see how their watches pair up against some of the best in the world. I know this is unusual because I am not a big fashion watch person at all, but today I wanted to see if, some of the very well-known fashion brands out there are really making their watches worth the money that they're asking us to spend on them. So I took one of the leading top designers internationally, Versace, and I decided to review one of their newest watches that was available at Nordstrom. So I just decided to pick it up and see if it's worth the money that it's listed for. So here we go. Without delay, we have the box here. Outer casing is your typical white cardboard box. So let's take this out. And then you are greeted with this gold finished Versace box with some vertical patterning, or should I say vertical pinstriping? No, not pinstriping, vertical patterning is correct. And then it's just champagne colored all throughout, very eye-catchy, very flashy, and I wouldn't expect anything less from Versace. Then you have the Versace logo here, the same gold font with the classic Medusa logo on the center. Oh, and by the way guys, I almost forgot to do a wristwatch check. So today I'm wearing a Guess fashion watch, a Guess Rygar. It's a quartz fashion watch that I purchased a very, very long time ago. And in light of today's unboxing, I decided to, take it out, dust it off, and wear it and see if our Versace fashion watch is any better than a regular $150 Guess fashion watch that you can purchase from Macy's. Is there a difference? Is it worth the price difference at all? Let's see. We shall find out very soon. So I've already described the box. Let's take it off and see. So we lift off this square shaped box, and inside, what do we have here? We have a pouch. We have a pouch with the Medusa logo on it, classic Versace, and then we have these champagne colored rope tighteners. I wonder what's this for. Is it for like carrying the watch around? Is the watch really that special that you want to carry it around in a pouch, or is this something that can be used for carrying other items like a cufflink or a ring or some other jewelry? I don't know. Not sure what it's for, but I'm assuming it is for carrying the watch. Otherwise, it would not be in here. So, well, it's kind of unusual for a fashion watch to include this, but I guess, being in line with the designer theme, they decided to, give you something extra. All right. Inside, we have your typical box that opens from the front. Again, this is all champagne colored, so let's take that out. Okay. Before we open the main box, and before I discuss that, let's see what else is inside. So it's all very gold and champagne colored inside too, and then you have this booklet. I think it's a warranty booklet. That's just my receipt, so I'll just place that to the side here. All right, and yeah, that's the barcode. That's their guarantee card. Yep, you have the official authenticity card in the back over here. Nothing special, just a plastic credit card like card. And I haven't filled this out yet. It's just some details and a barcode, a QR code actually, and some instructions, I believe, for filling out the warranty. What else is in here? Yeah, there's the international warranty. That's what the card is for. It doesn't really have much in it and doesn't really need much, to be honest. You have the logo inside too. Yeah, typical booklet, nothing out of the ordinary, but at least it has the warranty card inside. That's good. Okay, now let's put our attention to the main box. Let's stark white in color with a leathery, faux leathery patterning. Graining is not bad. It's all white with a touch of champagne along the edges where the box opens up, and you have the classic Medusa logo in gold champagne on the top. Nothing else in particular that stands out. It's just a square shaped box. Let's open the watch up and see what's inside. Alright, so here is the box. Inside it just has the Versace inside it on gold font, no logo. And this is the watch, guys. So the name of this watch model is the Versace Greca Logo Watch. This is a 41mm men's version. I think they make a 38mm female version as well. So, but before we move on to the watch, there's no other secret compartments inside. I do want to describe that this is very nice, very nicely made foam, and it feels very premium. The box is not bad quality, I'll give them that. The box is pretty nice in quality and finish. Fit and finish is very, very immaculate. No problems, no rough edges, no poorly finished corners, no bumps, no scratches. Yeah, it's not velvety, very velvety inside, but it does feel nice. All right, let's get rid of the box and talk about the watch itself for a second. All right, so holding it up in the light, it does have some plastic. All right, so let's take the plastic off. I only managed to take off the corner, and yep, there we go. And you can see it's a fairly decently sized watch, and like I mentioned, it's called the Greca Logo Watch for a reason. Let's talk about the case first. So the case is all 316L stainless steel. It has the Grecian logo on the bezel, which is steel and fixed. It has the exposed screws look in gold tone fashion, and there, if you look very closely, they're all patterned as if they're going radially in a clockwise fashion, which is a very nice designer-like touch. Like it's very it shows a lot of attention to detail, so that's nice. I like the design of the bezel. It does give a little bit of a Hublot type of vibe, I'll be honest, because with the exposed screws in that fashion, Hublot's Big Bang does come to mind, I will be honest. And then, so the case is 41mm in diameter. We're just going to measure that in a bit and see if that measurement holds up. By the way, I have new electronic calipers, so I'm going to show that to you in a second. Now, so that's the case. It's all stainless steel. It has a little bit of brushing on the bezel itself, and then you have some more brushing on the front parts over here, the top parts over here, and then you have the Versace logo on the part that connects to the strap. There is a screw in here that allows it to rotate to a certain degree. I would say like 90-degree rotation is possible with the screw head over here that holds the case and connects it to the strap. Same thing over here, has the Versace logo inscribed into the stainless steel with a brushed finish. The screw itself goes through a polished link, and it's the same over here, polished link. And the sides of the case are actually polished mirror finish. And yeah, so a little bit of concentric ring patterning right above the polishing. Part that's lined with the bezel itself has some concentric lining, which is nice. And then on the case back, the case back is not see-through. This is a quartz watch, so no point of having a see-through case back. And you have the Medusa logo over there, and some text telling you that it's Swiss made, sapphire crystal, the serial number of the watch. It's 5 atmosphere water resistance, stainless steel. Come back to that in a second. So that's the case. Feels very light, nicely finished. The dial itself First, let's talk about the crystal. It's anti-scratch resistant sapphire crystal. It's flat, not domed, and the dial itself is royal blue in color. The center is as plain royal blue, but where the indices are lined up, that ring has a little bit of concentric patterning, radial patterning, or should I say, and the indices themselves are gold toned. They're filled with superluminova, and so are the hands. The hands are also gold toned, if you can see, filled with superluminova. So we'll do a lume test very shortly. You have the Versace Medusa logo at the 12 o'clock position. Rest of the indices are plain and straight. It says Swiss made here because this is a Swiss made watch. It is powered by a Swiss Ronda 1069.2 quartz movement, and that's typically your standard Swiss quartz movement that you see in a lot of Swiss made quartz watches. So the Ronda caliber is very famous for supplying these brands with so-called Swiss quartz movements. And not to say they're bad, but it's a quartz at the end of the day. There's nothing much to talk about in that aspect. But I will say this, because it's a Swiss quartz movement, you can expect it to be reasonably accurate and very nicely functional, unlike MVMT watches where you don't know what you're getting into. So yeah, so that in that respect, it's not bad. The crown is gold toned. I don't see any logo inscribed on there, but it does have some serrations, not too aggressive. It moves very smoothly, and it is push and pull, no screw down crown because this is a quartz watch. And yeah, you can see there is a sub-seconds dial at the 6 o'clock position, again gold tone with the same concentric or actually radial ring pattern that you see on the ring that holds the indices. And the outer ring, the chapter ring, also has the indices for each minute marked as well. The indices are applied, which is nice, sign of good quality. So is the Versace logo. It's not painted, it's inscribed. The sub-seconds dial is also stepped, cut inside. So there's a bit of a step dial pattern in here. It's not just your plain flat dial. And what else? So I think we pretty much covered the dial aspect. Let's see what else is there. Yeah. So point about the crown, so it's gold tone finish, but it's kind of like a brushed gold tone finish, not polished, doesn't pop out. I think that's very sleek and nice. So we have the 41 millimeter diameter, that's what they say. We'll check that in a second. All right, so let's talk about the strap. It's blue colored leather. It's very soft and nicely finished, so I do give them credit for that. It feels very smooth and silky. Nice graining on there, much better than your standard alligator straps that you get on most watches these days that are terrible and very hard. This feels nicer. However, that's where the niceness ends. Coming to this clasp, it's a butterfly friction operated clasp from the looks of it, and that is the biggest weakness of this watch, this butterfly clasp. It has the Versace logo on this end, polished mirror finish, and then there's no twin trigger operating mechanism. It's just all friction based, as I'll demonstrate. So you would basically put this part in first. It's very hard, as I'll demonstrate. Then this part goes in, you make sure it's lined up, and then it snaps into place. Very hard to click. Now, you would expect there to be a twin trigger or a single trigger or something that, you know, helps you take the clasp off, but there isn't. So you have to literally apply a lot of force to get it open. So once it's on your wrist, it's a struggle taking it off. As I'm demonstrating, it's not coming off very easily. You have to like apply a lot of force And right now I'm using both hands. Imagine if it's on the wrist, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna stay stuck on forever? Let's try to open this part up. See, it's very hard. You might, and these edges are really sharp, so they can really cut into your finger, guys. Right now I'm wearing gloves. Oh my God. See, it's like really hurting. So yeah, I mean, ease of use and access, they really cheapened out on the class. Ease of use has been destroyed as a result. I really feel bad because if this class would have been nicer, I would have given this watch a good touch, because the design overall is pretty decent. It's just that it's quartz, so it's not automatic, so a lot of people are freaked out about that. Some people love quartz watches. I'm not the biggest fan, but I do own a quartz watch. Sometimes you should have something in your collection that's quartz and something inexpensive, but this watch is not inexpensive. So it retails for $1,250. That's a lot of money, and that's, I think, the exact amount I paid at retail at Nordstrom, plus tax then. That's the quality of this watch does not justify the price, for sure. This is by no means a $1,200 watch. You're literally paying for the Versace logo at the 12 o'clock position and the logo on the you're literally paying for just this Medusa logo at the 12 o'clock position and the Versace labeling at the 12 o'clock position. There isn't enough on here that would justify that price. Maybe, is it a $300, $400 watch? Perhaps, yeah, that might be a reasonable price range. If you can get it on gray market for that low, it might be a decent buy. But anything above 400 or even 300 is too much to ask for this watch. There's not much going on here, and coupled with this terrible clasp, and it's really a shame because I really like the leather, so I really don't want to toss away the strap and have to put in a different one, which would not be an easy case because of the way they designed these lugs over here. They're not, they don't seem to be interchangeable that easily. So you're stuck with it, and you can't change the clasp either because that's pretty much it. Now similarly, like the butterfly clasp, if I want to change the position, I have to really yank on it, and then it comes off, and then such a hard and unsatisfying click. Oh my God, that's just terrible. Well, it is labeled as a men's watch. There's a 38mm as well, but I think even with the 41mm, I think ladies can wear this watch too. It's pretty much unisex in my opinion. You guys might think differently, but in my opinion, this is pretty much a unisex watch. I would not think of it otherwise. And let's do a wrist shot and a loom shot, but before that, let's check out our new caliper. So here's my new set of electronic digital calipers. The previous ones broke, so I got this new stainless steel ones. They're about $25 on Amazon. I decided to get something a little bit more premium, and I don't want it to break down, so I decided to spend my money wisely and get one thing that works properly. Let's turn this on. So it has the screw bolt here that allows me to fix positions if needed. I can move it around with this circle easily, or using this grip over here, and it's very accurate, very, very nicely accurate. So we're going to check it in millimeters. Let's go ahead and check first the diameter. I'll check the widest part of the crown. See the reading, what it says. 41 millimeters. So dead on accurate. All right, let's do a lug to lug now. Let's increase that a bit. So we're getting about 46.2 millimeters lug to lug. Let's double check it just in case we're missing something. Use the other grips. Yeah, and I think that would be the right amount. By the way, I'm not including the screw heads. All right. So yeah, so to be very, very accurate, it's 45.27 millimeters lug to lug, lug to lug. So very decently sized. Let's see the thickness now. Nine millimeters. It's marked as 8, but yeah. Okay, let's do one more. .97. So between 8 and 9 millimeters in thickness. Yeah. And let's do a lug width real quick. This one should be easy to measure. 25.5 millimeters in lug width. Okay. So those calipers work nicely. Just gotta be careful because it's metal. But otherwise, so the measurements kind of hold up from what we're reading on its spec sheet. Now, some sites say that this is guilloche pattern on the dial. I disagree. I think it's just simple radial patterning with some stepping of the center and the sub-seconds hands. I guess you could consider that guilloche. I don't personally. And so let's talk about the water resistance. Since this is not a screw-down crown, water resistance is only 50 meters. So don't try to take this. Maybe it can withstand possibly splashes of water, but don't take this diving or swimming. Even though it's a sports watch style, it's not really meant for that kind of endurance. For that purpose, get something else. So here you can see much nicely. It does illuminate. The lume in the indices is in the center, so that's why it's not as bright as the hands themselves. But yeah, it's pretty average super luminova, as I can tell. It's not a high grade one. It's green in color, pretty substandard lume, so not impressed with that part at all. Okay, what else do we have? We measured it, we checked the lume. Now all that's left to do a wrist shot, and a little bit scared about this one. Is it actually going to come off after I put it on? Let's see. All right, so I did manage to put on the watch after a bit of a struggle with adjustment. Just for you guys, I really didn't want to put it on, but I want to stay true to my format and show you a wrist shot. So this is how it looks on my 6.5-inch wrist. This 41 millimeter watch does look well proportioned on the wrist. It does look very decent and elegant. I won't say otherwise, but typically this is not my style. I would definitely not wear this watch. It looks kind of feminine to me. I'm not into unisex watches, and this one is not going to be an exception for me, but it does look well proportioned. So if you do like the style, and if you have a smaller inch wrist, 6.5-inch wrist, or even smaller, I think you can go for it. If you have a very big wrist, this might look a bit small, but it is I will say they got the proportions right so that a lot of different wrists can wear this comfortably with security. A little bit too much security because of this clasp here. Now I'm wondering, how am I going to take this off? I'm very anxious about that because if it's too much force, it might break. I might cut my hands, or I might damage the watch. I'm not sure. And do you really want a watch that you're always worried about taking on and taking off? I don't think so, guys. Like, think about it. Are you like really that desperate to get the Medusa logo, or this logo for that matter? Would you sacrifice your skin cells for this? Is it worth that much? I don't know. Different people have different philosophies, different strokes for different folks. I wouldn't, but I don't know if you would. I would definitely not buy this watch. Not for the price. I just did so I can show you guys, but otherwise I wouldn't have. And yeah, it's a nice watch. It's a decent watch. It's a fashionable, trendy watch. But is this a collector's watch? Definitely no. Is this an enthusiast watch? Oh no, 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 no. Is this a watch that you buy to keep up with the trend and flash at a party for a little while and then get bored of it, shove it in the drawer, forget about it? Absolutely. Yeah. If you're that type, you wear a watch for a few days, don't give a damn about it, want to toss it away, just keep up with the trends, get a few Instagram shots and be done with it, go ahead. By all means, if you have the cash to burn, do buy it. Otherwise, stay away from it. Get yourself a decent watch. Get yourself a nice automatic watch. For $1,000, you can do so much better. You can get a Longines. You can get an Oris Aquis. You can get a nice Tissot for like half the price. You can get a Rado. I know Rados aren't popular. But it's so much better than this. You can get a Hamilton. You can get Seikos. You can get 10 Orients for this price. Oh my god, the list goes on and on. So if you're a true watch guy, you'll never buy this watch. But if you're a guy who's just browsing around, wants a nice fashionable watch, you might get fooled into buying it. And I won't blame you, because from the style perspective, it does look kind of attractive. But when you like really dig into it, you find out that there's not much in there. Even the sub-second dial is not loomed. And the loom is really terrible. So what's the point? If the point is to make sure that everybody knows you're wearing Versace, you have 3 different logos in the Medusa head to prove that, this is the perfect watch for it. But if you're looking for a watch that'll actually have substance and is not actually an outer exterior of a Ferrari with a Honda interior, then stay away from this watch. Buy something else. Because this is exactly what it is. It's a nice mansion, but when you go inside, it's all empty. It's derelict. And you don't want a watch like that. You want a watch you can have in your collection, pass it on, and cherish it. This unfortunately does not meet that criteria, for me at least. Even though it was a decent attempt, but not a great attempt. Need to do better, guys. Now, even though I don't want to, I'll still have to give this watch an opulence score, just to keep in format with the channel. For the style and design category, well, style and design is nice. It's decently designed. It has some good elements in it, but a lot of them are borrowed. They're not necessarily 100% original, but it does look attractive from the side, and it can appeal to people who are into fashion and trends. So for that reason alone, it can get a 7 out of 10. Moving on to materials, quality, and finishing, that is where this watch really goes down in the dumps. Even though this is nice 316L stainless steel and it's got a sapphire crystal, even though it's flat, not domed, that's not the biggest problem. The strap is not the biggest problem, it's the clasp. The clasp is so bad, it's terrible. It is absolutely horrid, and it is a pain to use this thing. And if water resistance is only 50 meters, no screw down crown, and for that reason, I mean, the quality and finishing takes a bit of a nosedive, so I would give this only a 3 out of 10. Performance rating, so this is not an automatic watch. There's really no performance. It's a quartz watch, keeps time, only 50-meter water resistance. So for that reason, because it's not very special and does not have any specific performance factors, I would just give this a 3 out of 10. Value for money on this watch is terrible. You pay a lot and you get very little, and as I outlined before, is not much. It's definitely not worth the money that you're paying for, and so for that reason it gets only a 1 out of 10. For the versatility category, this is not a super versatile watch, but it can work in a sports occasion or in a party or casual wear or evening wear. Not for super formal, not for boardroom meetings, and not even for like black tie events or things like that. It's really reserved for like the semi-formal and casual style. So the versatility is average, and for that reason it gets only a 5 out of 10. For the wow factor category, it does turn heads and can be flashy and eye-catching at first, even though when you look at it in more detail you find out that's not really much worth, and especially if an enthusiast or a collector sees you, they're not really gonna pay much attention to it. But the general crowd will like it, they will turn their heads, they will wow at the Versace logo. So for that reason it can achieve a 7 out of 10, even though personally speaking I would give it a 5. But just keeping in format with the scoring criteria, I will give this a fair 7 out of 10. The total score comes out to be 26 out of 60, placing it in category D of the watches reviewed before and on the opulence factor. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys, and let me know if you liked the review, and good luck to me taking this watch off now. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're slowly increasing our subscribers. Just hit that subscribe button. So if you want to see more content like this pop up, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to comment and tell me what your thoughts are, so I can keep providing you with more watch reviews and contents like this. Totally unbiased, totally non-sponsored. I speak my mind. I'm true to what I'm reviewing, and I'm not influenced by anything. So if you want more reviews that are honest, open, and just straight up out of the box, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications, and keep watching the channel for more content coming your way. And until then, guys, take care. Bye bye. Stay safe.